don't know. Yeah. 6 trucks, Eric.
That was a 6-truck job.
This one might be close. Definitely gonna need all.
You don't want anything.
You don't want to see
Definitely
that.
gonna need all 4 of them. That's for sure.
I'd pay to see Tay's reaction, bro.
I mean, you
Oh, he's already seen it.
Yeah, he could.
He was there with us.
He could
yeah.
kind of
Oh, he was
tell.
there.
just
He
from
walked
that.
into the office and went, so, what's happening tomorrow?
I said, you're packing all day, Tay. He's like, man, I can do the packing, but when are they moving? Like Monday and Tuesday, he's like, man.
Man.
The Lord moves in mysterious ways.
That was the
I
quote.
walked in on that one. Yeah, I walked in on that one.
I'm gonna drink one more beer, then I'm leaving.
Right.
He always says,
No, because I actually do. I was supposed to be there by 6, but that's not happening at this
That's
point.
fine.
So
You
one
can
more
make it.
beer,
you can make it.
I gotta go home first.
Nah, leave Diana.
Well, no, Diana's not even. She's gonna meet me there.
Oh,
She's coming up
then
from
you're
Denver,
fine.
so I'm gonna be late. And she's gonna be early.
You're fine.
I feel bad because Christian puts way too much effort into it, and then
Your dumbass is fucking
I'm
all up.
just late.
You know that feeling.
Yeah, same here. I know that feeling too, Brad.
Why?
Because I'm late for D&D every other week.
No, you weren't last week or the week before.
I
but the week
absolutely
before.
was
Oh, last week you were, but not the 2 weeks before that. But then, or 3 weeks before that, but then the one before that you were late. Yeah. It's not my fault. I mean, some of it's my fault.
Yeah, it is your fault.
I try my best, okay?
Not good enough.
I can't tell you how many times I repeat to people, like, and that's all we're moving, right? And it's like, yeah.
Well, no. I mean, there's still everything in the garage and the shed.
Oh, the
No, I
garage
tell-
today.
no,
When
I
you walked in
specifically-
there, that was the funniest thing when you're like, I have a ladder and 2 bikes. It's a full fucking garage of shit. And then you hear the customer on the phone. Everything. Yep, everything. And you're just like,
You couldn't tell us that over the fucking phone when he asked you 17 fucking times.
Yep.
Of course not.
that
I
was
just
the
forgot
kicker.
about
I
it.
have
Yeah.
a ladder. It
You
takes up
can't
almost
forget
no
about
space at all.
There's no fucking forgetting about that.
I think the best part of that, too, is the daughter's like, I only see 1 bike. And I was like,
You,
nah,
like,
I
you
see
clearly
2
pointed
bikes.
out the 2 bikes right away, like, one there, one there.
Yeah.
There's the
How
ladder.
do you not know how many fucking bikes you own?
Or anything.
When it's 2.
Because they're card-carrying members of the... I'm going to expand it out of Fort Collins.
Yeah, I guess we're just going to start the podcast because we're already talking shit.
Sounds good.
Everything has to go. We're movers. Like I said, we're talking shit. Dan, White Oak. I thought I had a new one. Drunken Conqueror because Fu-Tang. Whatever.
Ain't nothing to fuck with.
Trey, Julesburg, Juniper.
Slick Nick, Eastern Red Cedar, Canadian Carnage.
Nice.
Oh, it's the White Vermont.
Oh, yeah, I guess an alternate wood name would be the Vermont White Spruce.
There you go.
Nice. You got Kyle, the drywall assassin, Frederick Coleslaw, Swamp Ash, Heavy Fragile.
Heavy Fragile.
I'm
Just
Brad
not even
today.
going to introduce
Oh,
you.
Brad. Brad's. He's pretending like he's got stuff to do.
Brad's sad.
It's going to be just like last week when he said he's only staying for 15 minutes and then he stays
No,
for
I am
12.
actually leaving.
And
Boot,
there we go.
Angry Hippie, River Birch.
The wood names.
Yep.
We've been busy.
Yeah, where do you start?
It's the start of
It's
the
been a whole
real
week.
busy and the real heavy
Yeah.
and the real schmeggy.
Mm.
I don't even fucking know, man. I start my week on Wednesday. I work Wednesday through Sunday. So on Wednesday,
We had a great day on Wednesday.
I don't even remember what I did the first half of the day.
I don't either. I just remember that stupid pack job.
Yeah. Yeah, we had to go pack some shit, and on the contract it says we're packing the kitchen and a china cabinet.
Oh,
we
I
showed
remember
up.
what we did the first half. That was that 2 trucks that was only supposed to be 1 truck. That guy was a complete jackass.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's all true too.
Yep.
Yeah. He's like, we took a ton of stuff off, and it's like you put the beds in the room and put everything else in the garage for
Yeah.
us to move from the garage
Which we then
inside.
still had to move.
The truck isn't empty. What are you talking about? That's not even the bad day.
No.
That was the best job this week. But yeah, that pack. Fucking only supposed to pack the 2 areas of the house. 50 boxes total. Show up immediately. They're like, so we'll show you everything that needs to get packed. And then we have to walk around the whole fucking house to see everything.
He was like, I told them I have 4 bedrooms, but we'd do what we could. I mean, that didn't mean we would get everything. So
Yeah.
Then why didn't you just tell them we're doing everything and do what you could?
Yeah, she's like showing me the estimate, and I'm like pointing at all the places where it says we're only doing this.
Yeah. It's like, there's 180 on the move day, though. It's like, that doesn't mean we're packing those, you asshole.
I didn't get a pack estimate. It's like it says packing right there
Mhm.
with an estimate next to it. Oh. Oh my god. And then had to come back the next day. I don't even know who went out the next day. I know Alex
It was
did.
Alex. And
Oh, you were there, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, Alex had to crew lead that. I'm sure he'll show up here eventually, but
Shook.
yeah. I was so happy that he had to deal with all that shit.
Same.
Even though I had to do worse stuff, I'm so happy he had to deal with
Yeah.
that
He was
shit.
ready to explode at her. I don't think I've personally seen him more mad at any customer. He said it might be his worst customer of all time.
I don't know.
So it's like
Yeah.
it's like a mover 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've definitely had worse customers, and he's been here longer than me.
Yeah, she was a pain in the ass, but she wasn't like bad.
She's
just annoying,
nitpicky,
too.
and she just watched you like a hawk.
Yeah.
And tried to like make dumb conversation with you the entire time, and we were there for like 9.5 hours.
Yeah, she kept talking.
You're fucking with my podcast.
What were you saying? God, about her in the truck today. I don't even remember now.
Oh, there was Carson and Rao were carrying this top of this hutch, and it was like real heavy. Maybe the heaviest thing. They might have had one other heavier piece, but anyways, they were kind of like struggling with it, coming through like the front little walkway that goes into the kitchen, and then they had to go around the corner through the living room, and then the master bedroom was like kind of like down a different hallway. And so, like, they're, like, kind of, like, going through, like, the narrow part where you're, like, turning it, but right before they get into the door of the master bedroom, and, of course, she's watching them this whole time, because that's what she does, and she's like, oh, I guess I have to tell you where to put that, and I'm, like, coming in with, like, a piece behind them, so I'm watching this whole thing go down, and they're, like, like, heavy breathing, like, huffing, whatever, because they're, like, almost at the end, like, just trying to get it through the doorway into the master, and she's like, so tell me, why do they call you and it's just like, it was
That moment.
if you know Rao, like, I mean, we all do, it's like nothing. It's like dead radio static
Just completely
silence,
quiet.
like just completely quiet. Carson wasn't playing into it neither, like just never a word was said about that ever again, and like just forced her to just move on and just tell them where to put the piece.
Oh, thank God.
I got one of the
That's
weirdest
funny.
comments I've ever had
Yeah,
yesterday at the
yesterday.
gas station.
Yeah.
This lady was like, your shirt's hilarious. What are the little things? Like some little fucking gremlins or something? And I was like, no, I'm at my job right now. What the fuck are you talking about?
Did you not see the massive truck
Right?
that just had to make the most ridiculous fucking... I basically had to
That
like
gas station
figure
was
8
stupid.
double loop this fucking gas station just to get in and out. Idaho Springs.
Yeah.
Taylor's real stoked on Idaho Springs.
He was.
Stuff.
Home of the gold diggers.
Yeah. And the world's worst football field.
Yeah.
It's like literally
It's
like
so bad.
sagebrush. It's fucking-
That was like our high school
It's real
practice
funny.
field.
Speaking of ridiculous
It's bad.
trucks, do you remember recently we were down by Denver, we saw the black tie movers?
Oh,
That's-
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
Jake was losing his mind. Jake was laughing so hard.
Just looked like a
We
bunch
gotta
of
find a picture of
Chippendale.
that truck. That
Yeah,
was real
Chippendale.
funny. Oh.
I just
I hate that
this
company
week's
you
been
showed me
so
last
bad.
night.
I just like maybe we should
Yeah.
wear ties so it'd be more convenient to just hang ourselves.
I was thinking that very thing. I saw this goofy ass dude, and he was for 2 minutes. Goofiest guy I've ever seen, dude. He had the shortest shorts on, but they were also hiked up super high, super tight belt on. The 2 men, the two women, shirt tucked into the belt, had like the biggest fucking blowout poof hair thing going on. And he was fit, you know what I mean? And then he had hiking boots on, that like came up halfway up his ankle, and he's just like walking around like he's the man and stuff like that.
Like,
Goes
you
to
just
the
broke half the shit on that truck.
bro, and it just like if he walked in here to apply, but get out, dude. But walks up, self checkout at Maverick, does his thing. While I'm checking out with the actual guy so I can get tobacco, he's like, "Hey, sir, can I get a bag?" I wanted to hit him so bad. Just looked him dead in the eyes, just like,
Brad, you should roll me a couple beers.
We had another hilarious encounter with another moving company at a barbecue restaurant in Loveland the other day. We had 3 trucks. And fucking Lean, he's new to driving. He's in this kind of stuff.
yeah.
Parks like an idiot. Like Billy goes, they pulled in straight, like so it's easy for them to get out. And they took one of the outside parking spots, and I took the other one. We were good. Lean fucking trying to get out of there is just a fucking shit show. The dudes that were parked on the street started like air brake, like razzing him, and then I joined in on that as well. Y'all were pulling out, and I'm trying to signal you while they're driving by and flexing on you, and they're coming around. I'm like, he looks like he needs help. You pull into where the other dudes.
He's trying to back out of that Sirius Texas. I'm like, dog, just
And Marco's with him. Like earlier, I was like, Lean was gonna drive by himself. I was like, someone better ride with him. Marco was with him, which is worthless because he didn't even get out to back him out. They're just like trying and failing to get out of this fucking parking lot. Oh my god,
That's pretty bad.
that was pretty funny.
I like that though.
That was that was like the fun highlight of my week, probably.
It's a learning experience.
New guys. See, I took the Penske to go get it fueled up today so that we could return it. I was like, fuck, yeah, that's right, I got to go do that. So at like 2 o'clock, went and hopped in the Penske. Fucking drove it over to that gas station, whatever that is now. Not the double pump one, but the one before it that has the Subway. Yeah, that has the Subway. Pulled in there, dude. As I'm turning onto that street, 2 fucking pickup trucks towing boats pull into there, and it's like, well, I'm not going to get anywhere in there. So I pull in, and one of the boats parks on those like north parking lane, parking spots. It was a big ass pontoon too. And then the other guy goes and like almost jackknifes himself turning around to get to one of the pumps. So it's just malarkey, and I'm like, man, I'm just gonna have to go to the other gas station. So I pulled up next to that, or pulled up past that one with the boat, dude. Threw it in reverse, just fucking whipped it super fast backwards. That dude freaked out, man. He gunned his boat backwards. It's like, dog, I'm not gonna hit you.
You see
I've got more miles. Yeah.
You see a rental truck pulling that maneuver, I would freak out.
Yeah, dude, but it was pretty funny, man. And he fucking, so I whipped it back around, then threw it back in drive and flipped around. I looked over at him, dude. He was like, I was like, then I peeled out of there.
Oh man, Rao just showed up. Say hi, Rao.
Howdy.
You look so happy, just as happy as the rest of us.
Yeah. No, today was all right. I'm just chafing pretty fierce. So.
Oh man, I know what you mean. My armpits are killing.
I'm rubbing something terrible.
Yes.
Bad sock choice today.
Ooh.
Dude, the dude at the liquor store, when I like looked up at him after giving him my ID, he's like, "Oh, rough day, huh?
Rough life.
Rough week."
Yeah.
Well, my beers are cold, buddy. And I was like,
That's why I'm here.
Which one'd you go to?
the
one right there.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, is it Young's? Yeah, was it the
He was the
old,
older white guy.
which the bald guy?
Yep.
He was
Oh, yeah.
balding. He was older. Yeah.
It's not like
It wasn't your buddy.
It
It's
wasn't my
always
buddy.
like, oh, where's Brad?
Yeah, where's that
No.
douchebag?
He didn't.
Brad
have
giving
that
you a
no
hard
Brad.
time?
Yeah, old David. He's
That-
pretty funny.
So I went to that liquor store and it was the old white guy, like the old bald white guy, and fucking Charlie has the out of state license or whatever, and he was trying to talk to Charlie about the Civil War.
Oh, yeah, I was
and
there
Charlie
for
was
that.
just like completely ignoring him, or it's like, yeah, okay. And then I walk up like right behind him and I like try to engage him about the Civil War, and he just doesn't say a fucking thing to me. And I was like, okay, whatever, man. Give me my beer. I'm leaving.
All right, well,
Oh,
I
bye,
bid
Brad.
you guys adieu.
See you.
Go Avs.
You have fun.
Go Avs.
Yeah.
Podcast.
That Young's guy loves you, by the way.
David?
Yeah, because you pay his mortgage.
We all pay
We all
it.
pay for it, yeah. We keep the
Yeah.
lights on.
I know him. He's a friend of my dad's.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So he's living the dream, bro. He retired, and that's what he does every Thursday.
You're ruining my audio, Brad. Either come back or go away.
Works his 4-hour shift over at the liquor store. All right, we'll see you guys.
This is
See ya.
discount.
Bye, Brad.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was the first day of my
Yeah.
That was day one.
And y'all were in Denver at like 11:30 at night or something.
No, that wasn't us. That was someone else. Yeah.
Someone did
Not
that.
me.
Yeah,
That was you,
surely
right?
one person here was there.
That's shitty.
Yeah, whatever.
Denver to Longmont.
Yeah, I knew that it was going to be real
Three
shitty, but
trucks,
Yeah, well,
4.
yeah, it was more stuff than it was supposed to be. And also, apparently, someone that ran the pack job that works here promised him that we'd be packing more stuff and didn't say anything. So we all showed up and didn't know that. Omar locked itself
Nice.
in the driveway.
It was James, just to interject.
It was James.
You don't have to not name people. We all
I
openly
just don't
talk
wanna
shit
say his
about
name.
each other. It's fine.
He pissed me off this week. But yeah, Omar locked itself in the driveway. It was the first truck we unloaded.
good
So
on
it
that.
took about an hour and a half to get into. And then it was pouring rain. Finished at like 9:30. The guy's card declined 4 times. I was getting payment, so we had to call his bank. It was about an
Solid.
hour until we actually talked to somebody. Yeah.
Shit,
And
yeah.
it was about 11:30 when I clocked out. And yeah, that was,
Hey,
that was the start
that's
to my
pretty
week, too.
reasonable.
And then you packed the next day.
Oh yeah,
bright
and
and
I packed
early,
the
right?
next day. Then we did
Fuck.
that job on Thursday,
Yeah.
which is pretty bad.
Like,
too.
I had a shit week, but I was just like, still thankful that I didn't have any part of the Denver or the fucking 9-trucker to call.
It's
mean-
only 6 trucks. It was only 6
6 or 9,
26
I don't
foot trucks.
care.
Oh,
Once you get to a point, it doesn't matter.
remember that? Like, it was like kind of Westminster area, that stupid four-story house. We moved them to Cheyenne. They were in Cheyenne that day. It was them right across the sidewalk.
Oh, really?
Yeah, remember that old guy, that dude that was like watching us the whole time?
Yeah, he
It was
was
him.
setting me off because he kept staring at me.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
him. And so yeah, it was. You know how dumb those houses are.
Fuck Looky.
You were there.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that house and the GPS
like
sent
it.
us to the wrong place at first. Then we had to like call a guy who was standing in a field.
Yeah.
It was like way almost north of
Yeah,
Cheyenne.
and she was all worried about leaving her garage open because they
Yeah.
live in a bad neighborhood. It's like, what?
You
Yep.
live in a bad state.
Yeah, your house is
Yeah.
sold for 1.5 million.
It's a bad neighborhood,
Yeah.
man.
There's people who make under 100K in the next neighborhood over.
Can you believe that?
Yeah, they're gonna steal something from me.
They're going to take all our stuff.
Boot's got a great point though. The looky loose is a big problem every day. We're
I hate it.
working the burbs a lot where people are bored/retired, so
Mhm.
we get stared at by people walking their dogs. They want to come up and talk.
They
It
do
was
come
like
up
that,
and talk.
the job that we
Motherfucker
did to
walking right into
Cheyenne.
the front door, they just fucking cut me off.
Mhm.
Having a serious conversation with a woman about a treadmill that wasn't coming out of her basement. Dude just walks in the front door, cuts me off, and just
Oh,
like,
yeah.
fuck me, fuck the conversation we were having. Cool, man. Right on.
Yeah, the job that me and Rao and Nick did to Cheyenne this week too. It was like every single neighbor walked by and was like, "Oh, are you selling the house?" It's like, no, we're movers. We
Yeah.
don't have any
Yeah.
involvement in
You
this
see my
transaction.
t-shirt? You see how it matches that truck?
Yeah. And one of the neighbors, I pulled the first truck up to park it, and he immediately walked up to the window and was like, "Hey, what's going on? Are they moving out? Where the what?" It's like, dude, this is none of your business, and I have 0% interest in having this conversation right now. And it actually worked out almost perfectly because Adam called me, and if it would have been literally any amount of phone call whatsoever or something, I was just like, "Well, the office is calling me, so I
Can't talk to you anymore."
Yeah, exactly. Please fuck off. I mean, wait, excuse
That
me.
shit is the worst when you're driving the truck
Yeah.
and they come up on you like, dog.
This is not the time.
Don't.
I'm uninterested.
No. God damn.
Oh, man.
Mm-hmm.
Every time we want to back into someone's driveway, it becomes the busiest fucking street.
Yeah, right.
Just suddenly,
I still
you
think
have fucking 6 cars on both ends.
one of the best ones of that was that when we were doing that third floor or whatever out over in Buckinghorse, and that chick was like yelling at us, and then drove between the trucks. We're blocking. You're blocking the whole goddamn street, and then she just drives through.
Heels out at like 35 miles an hour through it, blows through the stop sign. What the fuck? We all just looked down from the 3rd floor like...
I just started laughing at her.
Yeah.
Because I was the closest to her. I turned around on the stairs and just laughed at her and walked back.
That was like a day after the fucking night shift Karen freaked out on me.
Night shift Karen.
You were stuck in the staircase, 3rd floor with the aquariums. She called Brad 7 times in a row.
You were stuck at the staircase on the 3rd floor with
She
the
accosted me and Charlie at the top and basically was frothing at the mouth, yelling at me.
And you couldn't escape because I was
I was
in the
there. I
stairwell.
was trying to help you.
I work the night shift. You have to be quiet.
Like, I'm just trying to do my job.
It's like people
Seriously?
think we want to be there.
Yeah, like, I seriously was playing it cool, and then she just like, fuck you, like slammed the door, like look at Charlie, hey, fuck us, right?
Yeah.
And then that was what set her off. She couldn't believe that someone would use profanity after she just yelled 1,000 F-bombs.
You monster.
I am a monster. And then she didn't want to approach us again because there were 3 large men who were very intimidating.
Oh, man.
Good.
She was fronting on you, and you're the scary ones,
Yeah.
man.
For fuck's sake. Like, I get where she's coming from, but damn, dude.
Man, just thinking, none of you guys, well, Trey, you were on the end of that big job yesterday. Yeah, none of you guys were there, which is pretty surprising because the rest of the employees who work here were there.
I mean, we did call to see if you needed help.
Yeah.
And Adam said there's already 11 people there, so they're probably fine.
That was a lie. The max we had was 10, including JD, and that wasn't until like 6 p.m. But it didn't really matter.
10.2.
Yeah.
I don't think we would have been much help.
No.
I wouldn't have been after fucking doing I-70 in a box truck all the way
That
to
drive
Brandon
was
back.
ridiculous.
Dude, the fucking right lane is so rutted out and sketch. It's just like
And nobody knows how to fucking merge.
Not one person.
When you're going up to the tunnel and it's just like...
Dude.
No, not even, just not joking, it was probably like 85% of the on-ramps, the entire way, all the way up there, somebody would get like 3 feet in front of the truck and then just sit there and look all confused, and then they would just speed up and be totally fine. It's like...
I would
just
lose all
fucking
momentum.
figure it out. Yeah.
It's like, dude, I'm going 65. Like, your fucking brand new car can just be like, brr,
Yeah.
and you're good.
Yeah,
But no one can do it.
if you get in front of a truck and you slow down, you're an asshole. And if you do it on a hill, go fuck yourself.
Yes.
That truck would be going the speed limit if you weren't a fucking dick and slowing down in front of it. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah. That was 6
Totally
hours of
accurate.
our lives before we
Yeah.
could have potentially helped
Yeah.
your disaster.
Oh, man. I guess I'll go at the very beginning. I'm going to forget so much shit about this because it's been such an ordeal. It's been literally 30 hours of like my last 72 hours has been dealing with this bullshit. But so this is how it starts at the very beginning. I come into work. I look at the schedule. I see what we're doing. I look at the contract and I go, hey, Adam, we're moving all these storage units. Do you like have pictures of this shit? Because it's 2 10x45s and a 10x30. And that is a ridiculous amount of shit. And Adam's like, yeah, we should have some pictures. And he's looking for them. He's like, oh, I don't know what JD did with them because JD went out and looked at those storage units. He's like, I don't know where they are. I could have JD send them to you, but by the time he shows up, you're already going to know what you're in for. And I was like, yeah. So on the notes, it says, go to this storage unit, use the south entrance. So there's the north entrance. This is firehouse storage too, perspective for you guys. So I see the north entrance. I go to the south entrance and I go in. I don't see the customer or anything, but we have the code, so I just kind of pull in and park. And I call them and I go, "Hey, we're in the storage unit. Where are you guys?" "Oh, you were supposed to use the south entrance." And I was like, "Okay, whatever." So we go around and then I get out of the truck and I see the storage units from across the storage facility, and I go, "Oh no." We're 200 feet away from these storage units, and I'm going, "Oh no." So we roll all the way around.
You saw the tall roofs of the bigger units.
They were open, so you can see like the first wall, and you can see how big it was. We weren't even close, and it was like, oh, sweet Jesus. So we roll all the way around. I get out the truck, and I'm talking to this dude. And once again, he brings up, "You should have used the south entrance." So I said, "We're in the south side, south of the north entrance." And he's like, "Oh no, that's the middle entrance. You want to use the other south entrance," which I'm just throwing out because fuck this guy. Yeah. So we're parked next to the two 10x45s, and I look at the one, and it is just a wall 15 feet tall of just trash, just smashed boxes, random folding chairs. There's furniture in there, I guess. You can't see behind it at all. There's like a 15-foot ladder leaning on the wall that I know the last movers used to just stand on top and throw shit back there. But it was a family move, so there's like parents and the daughters. They're all adults, like older than we are. And this daughter is just, oh my God, I wish Brad was here because he loves her.
He had some good stories this morning. Yeah, we should have jumped into that right away, but that's all right.
Can we call Brad, put him on speaker?
Oh, we should. We
Yeah,
totally
let's
should.
do a
That'd be
hot
great.
one. Yeah.
We'll have our first call in.
Give him a ring if you can.
He's driving.
But there's plenty more to this that we don't even need. This is a whole podcast in and of itself. So, one of the storage units that has less shit than the other is all her stuff. And all her stuff is going into the garage because she's waiting to get her house built or some bullshit like that. And she's explaining this to me, and I go, yeah, okay, we can do all that. And she was like, "But we need to keep it separate because it's going into the garage." I was like, "Yeah, you told me that." Yeah, I understand these things. I understand not to take things out of this unit. I get that. And so he's showing us the other unit. And he's like, "Yeah, it's way high up here," and then it tapers off. And fucking Doug just climbs all the way up to the top. Hey, there's some people who are on that job pulling up right now.
Harrison.
But Doug climbs to the top, and he looks over and he goes, "Oh no." He's like, hand me your phone so I can take a picture." So I hand him the phone, and I got tons of pictures of all this shit. He takes pictures, and it's like a sea of broken boxes and shit. It's just 45 feet back, just crap piled on top of each other. And I'm like, oh my God. Well, we check out the last unit. It's the smallest one. It's definitely full of shit and would take up an entire truck. But after you see in the other two, you're like, this isn't so bad, even though it's truly terrible. So immediately I call the office, and Adam picks up. And he's like, "Hey, what's up?" And I'm like, "So this is significantly more than 3 trucks. Because the plan was to load 2 trucks, come back the next day, load another truck, and then unload everything. And that's insane. That is outrageous. Our trucks are the equivalent of a 10x20 storage unit. Mm-hmm. And those storage units were 10x45. Which is
there
insane.
Were 2 of them, and a 10x30, right?
And a 10x30, yeah.
That's
it might be a 10x20. I don't even remember, but it's, yeah. Oh, man. So we're trying to figure this shit out because I'm like, this is unacceptable. It's not even unacceptable. It is impossible. It is not a thing that can be done. And so eventually, we were supposed to load those 2 trucks and then split up the 4 of us in 2 trucks to go do different jobs afterwards. One of those jobs canceled. So luckily, we loaded those 2 trucks, and then we unloaded one of them, and the other one was just kind of parked, waiting for the next day because we were going to need more trucks. Because thank God you guys had that Penske, or we were fucked. Or was it you guys who had the Penske? Or
no.
Yes,
They got it for
They got it for a 3-trucker I did the day before this.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Which, yeah, that has plenty of stories in itself, but continue.
Yeah, this is a big one. And I said over the phone that morning to, I don't know if it was Brad or Adam, because I was kind of calling just the office so somebody would pick up and I could like talk to them. And I said, this is the most stuff I've ever seen from one job. And that stands true. And that is still true. And we're skipping ahead a little bit. But so we loaded the 2 trucks. We picked up Brad because we're going to unload one of the trucks. And thank God we fucking did that shit too. It saved us hours. But sitting in the office, I'm talking to JD and I'm like, hey JD, this shit's all fucked up. And I was being pretty calm about it. I was definitely using casual swear words, but that's just because that's how people talk. Mm-hmm. And I tell him that. I say, this is the most shit I've ever seen. And he said to me, I don't know if you'll feel like that at the end. Because I think JD was still kind of convinced that I was being dramatic or something. Which, I like to bitch. I'll throw that out there. But yeah, we go unload that truck. And luckily it was real easy. Like, half the shit went into the garage, and there was like a couple furniture pieces that went inside. So we really busted out that truck in like less than 2 hours, which is fucking awesome. So that was my shortest day this week, maybe, and it was like 9 hours or so. So, but then the next day comes around. We have that truck we unloaded. We have the Penske. We have Omar with the liftgate, and I think we only had the 3 trucks at the time. Is that right? That sounds right. Yeah. 3 completely empty trucks to load the rest of the shit. Oh yeah, they were asking for pictures after we loaded those 2 trucks of how much stuff was left. one 10 by 45 untouched, 10 by 30 untouched, except for we got the riding mower out, of course, which I got to take for a spin at the unload.
Nice, sweet video.
Yeah, yeah, that was a good one. And then the massive 10 by 45 with just like a wedge taken out of the middle. Like just shit still lining the walls on both sides. Just ridiculous amount of stuff. But we roll out, we have those trucks, and I'm just trying to coordinate what the fuck we're gonna do, because we still need another fucking truck at some point that day, because it's just impossible to fit all this shit. But we load all these, and we decide that we're going to roll to the unload 1 truck real quick, then I'm going to come back, get the rest of the shit, come back, we're all going to unload together. A lot of plans were put into place, and of course Trey had to come back to the shop to pick up the other already packed truck to bring it up there so it could be unloaded as well. That was essentially the plan. So we're unloading, we get to the unload. And this lady, man, I have to explain to her what we're doing. I'm like, you see this truck right here? It is filled with all your shit. And you told me all this shit's going in the garage. And she was like, yeah, definitely. I'm trying to organize it so we can put all this stuff over there and all this stuff here and the furniture in the back. And I said, it is going to fill this entire garage. And she's like, yeah, I get it. There's a lot of stuff. And I was like, do you understand what I am saying right now? And so we unload that truck, and about halfway through, she's like, yeah, let's try to keep stuff this side of the line so I can park my car in here.
Fuck. That was a custy cliche. Bing, bing, bing.
Yeah, it sure was.
Fucking piece.
But we organized it best we could with that one unloaded truck. And then I roll back and we get the rest of the shit. Which, by the way, here's a funny story. There was a podium in there that had a cross on it. Haven't even mentioned these guys are like religious cult freaks who set up churches and stuff, and it's crazy. But that's part of the story too.
From California.
From California, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Me and Doug all fucking day were like in the storage unit like, oh God. Jesus Christ, did you see that? But there was a podium in there and it had a cross on it. And I was like, hey Salofi, this is going to be really bad. And I turned to him and I set the podium down right in front of him and I do a little Nazi salute. And Salofi just starts laughing. He's like, you're right, that was bad. But that was a fun one. So we load that shit, and we go back, and it's like 6 o'clock when we get back to where everybody's unloading. By then, Trey's there, other people are there, JD's there, which he better have fucking showed up at some point.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that for JD, you know? He needs that.
Thinks he's going to have a nice cushy day in the office, and then he has to go.
Yeah. Well, that was all fucked up, too, because we took Brad because one of our guys who works like one day a week.
Also love that.
Yeah, finally got fired or whatever. So Brad took his place because JD was asking me if I needed people, and I was like, yes. Yeah, I need people and space. Everybody who could be there needs to be there. But I roll up, and it just does my heart so good that we're pulling up. All these trucks are being unloaded by all these people. That garage is just full. Nobody's going to be able to park in there. It feels so good. It's like, I warned you so fast. Oh, man. There's so many details that I'm just forgetting, and I'm never going to be able to remember all these. But we pull up, and we park, and we open up the truck because the one next to ours is pretty much empty. We open ours up because it has the last of the shit, which is still like a full truck worth of just schmeg and terrible things that you can't stack and stuff. And I'm talking to the lady, and I'm like, so that thing's fucked up this way. That thing's fucked up this way. You know, that shit's fucked up over there. And she is explaining to the person next to me where to put totes that are like 6 inches by a foot. And I stop halfway through one of my sentences, and I turn around and I walk away. And she turns and goes, oh, yeah, okay. So me and Brad are pulling off one of these broken giant pieces of shit or whatever, and one of the legs has fallen off. And that was one of the things I was telling her. And she's like, wait, that leg is broken? And Brad says, yeah, that's what he was trying to tell you.
You said, oh, yeah.
Oh, man. Fuck those people. God, I hate them so much. Well, once again, there's tons of more stories that I'm not going to remember. They had like 60 folding chairs and like a shitload of like folding tables and stuff for all their crazy church shit that they did. And they loved us. They thought we were the best because the last movers clearly at some point fucking gave up and just started chucking shit. Yeah. And it's like, no, I get it.
I
That's
would
not
have
even
done the
shitty
same
movers. Those guys were probably
Yeah.
like really good. And they were just like,
The official words the dad used were, they were Mexican.
They were Mexican. He did straight up say they were Mexicans.
and at some point they snapped.
And I get it. I get it.
At
The
some
only
point
reason
it was no oblong glaze, and they were like, "You fuck this."
JD
fucking
made a
lady."
good point because like there's a point where you can see everything's like wrapped really nice, and there you can see you're like, oh, we're in a good mood, and then it just stops and it's like, nope, everything's just fucked. Yeah.
Oh man,
it can be there's a boiling point. Tay was talking about it today.
Yep.
He's like, so like y'all have been doing this forever, like you know the point where it's like, fuck this, I'm done. Like I should walk away right now. Where can I get a new job right now?
So
and we've all had that moment this week. Dude.
This is part of this job.
Yeah.
When I opened those storage units. And like the customers left because they didn't need to be there watching us do this. And I turned to Doug and I go, Doug, is this my last day? Like, am I done now? And going back to also the other movers being shit, that helped us out a ton because anything that was broken, anything that was fucked up, anything like that, just blame
it on
movers.
them. Yeah.
It was great. It was great because several very specific occasions, I broke some shit intentionally. No, not intentionally. Just kidding. Cut that.
Allegedly.
They were already broke. You just broke them.
Well, the bookshelf was already broken, and then I totally broke it more. But there was one point where I'm just like stacking like metal poles into a fucking pad. And we're in the storage unit. It's mostly empty. It's huge, so it's like echoing a shitload, and it's super loud. And Derek goes, "Can you be any louder?" And I grab one of the poles and I smash it against the wall of the storage unit. And Derek was losing his shit. He thought it was so fucking funny. I didn't say a word.
Man, we really should have fucking showed up.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, yeah, the other movers did that. No, I left a little dent on the wall. The pole was fine. And it was good for me to do that. It relieves some stress.
Sometimes you gotta get that out, you know.
Oh, another great one. They're all coming to me here. So at the end of me and Slofi are finishing off. Man, Slofi was in such a bad mood. Probably the worst mood I've ever seen him in.
He looked grouchy this morning. Too.
Yeah.
But
he said he was over it, but he was clearly not.
He was not. No. It was too recent to be over this, because I'm not over it right now. But we just piles of trash and shit. We just all throw in a wheelbarrow, and there's like some Christmas ornaments and shit that we just threw in there. And we pull it off the truck, and she's like, "Can I look through all this?" And I was like, yeah, it's just all the last minute shit that was just laying around or whatever. So she's looking through, and she finds like the Christmas ornaments, and she's like, "Oh, they spilled my Christmas ornaments." Well, the truth about those Christmas ornaments is that they were sitting in a tote sideways on top of a bunch of shit, and I grabbed it, and the top popped off because the tote wasn't supposed to be like that. Fucking Christmas ornaments go everywhere, so I threw a bunch in there, and they were lying on the ground at the end, so I threw them in a wheelbarrow. I can't believe they spilled my Christmas ornaments.
I
Fuck
know.
you, Mitch. What about your 95 other boxes of Christmas ornaments?
Yeah, it was way too much.
We were at the very beginning, me and Doug and Derek or whatever. We were like, "How many Christmas trees you think are in there?" And I was like, "There's probably like 8." And Doug's like, "No, I'm going 6." There was well over 16 Christmas trees in there.
Mm-hmm.
Like plastic Christmas trees and hundreds of totes of Christmas items. Fast forward back to the end of the move. They fucking love us. We're the greatest thing they've ever had to experience. They're going to fucking hire us again.
No.
JD's going to fucking do it. But, so we're all... God, I'll remember some stuff up there later. But I'll remember stories of this for weeks and weeks. But we're rolling away, and JD like speeds ahead of us because he drove his own car, and he picks us up some beer on the company card, which, you know, that's cool. And he's hanging out and drinking with us. And JD said this is a quote. He said, "I was wrong and you were right." That is the most boxes I've ever seen on a job. And I was like,
No shit.
no, I respect that. I appreciate that. That does make me feel a little better. I feel like shit and I hate everything, but at least you said that.
I still might quit, but
Yeah, I appreciate that.
When you go into that basement tomorrow, yeah, that's when you're gonna be like,
I don't have
why? Oh, you do.
Yeah.
No. I gotta move a hot tub tomorrow.
Yeah, and
No,
then
you'll
you're gonna
be-
go help them.
Once they get into that, dude,
You're not catching
You will be there.
the progression of tomorrow is going to be you're going to go do that, and then you're going to go help those people because there's
wait.
so much
Just
shit
wait till
at that
you
house.
see
There's so much
everything-
shit.
Everything about that basement. This is basically
So-
like an ad for the next upcoming podcast.
I was about to say,
Yeah.
context. So you guys did a job today where you packed
Right.
pre-packing.
We took your job to go pre-pack.
Yeah. You guys were pre-packing for the real pack for the biggest. Well, I was about to say the biggest move this month, but that's probably not
No.
true. It's probably the second biggest move
Yeah.
this month.
Oh my god.
There's so much shit in that
You don't
house. It's
even
ridiculous. And I know we moved them in there too. I remember it. After going in that basement, I was real bummed about that because it was me and Eckfield and Sabina and George a couple of years ago moved all that stuff in there, and because of the crew situation, it was just me and fucking Eckfield moving
Well, that
all
and
of the most egregious
hallway
shit into
situation.
that basement.
Two
And yeah,
people
it's
barely
so
fit in
bad.
that hallway.
It's so bad.
Dude, I opened that door like, oh man.
It's
this
like
is gonna be
6
a
steps
brutal
down
closet.
and then a 90
And
and,
then
then like
saw.
10 steps down.
And it's an unfinished
Yeah.
stair to an unfinished basement.
Yes.
Yeah. 90 to opposite 90 to open.
It's terrible.
And then
It's so bad.
it's terrible. I look to my left. There is a commercial, you know, the fucking red particle board L-shaped desk with
I
hundreds.
sure do.
It's there in the corner.
I put that there.
It's there in the corner, and it is filled with boxes of paper.
And there's a terrible elliptical,
everywhere.
terrible treadmill, and then just piles of garbage.
Oh, I'm familiar with piles of garbage.
Oh
too.
my
Yeah.
god. Kind of hoardy, preppy,
Oh yeah.
but
No,
just
that-
in cleaning
Oh,
supplies.
no.
Well, there was more.
That-
There was soda,
That pantry
pops, I don't
was
know.
a shit show.
it was a French door pantry, and it was busting at the seams.
I packed 12 1.5s out of that, and I did not even get close to finishing it. And it was just like, I think every single shelf had like at least 6 to 10 of the individual, like, or well, not even the individual. I think it would be like a gallon, like Gatorade mix packets, just like thrown on top of everything. And just like, there's so much random, like the big flat ones that are like 3 inches
Dude,
by
I
3
packed-
inches. And oh my god.
This afternoon, me and Jay were sitting there in the office and we were talking. And it's like, if we both quit today, what would happen tomorrow?
But yeah, and the funny thing about the pantry too was that it was like everything was either 100% new and unopened, or a package with like 5% left of what should actually be in there. Like there was a whole box, like a big share size box of M&Ms that had 2 M&Ms in it. And I was like, I'm just fucking throwing this away. I'm gonna
You
shit
had
in
quite
here.
the pile
I had
of,
a
like,
giant
Cheez-Its,
pile. There was
like,
4 boxes
fucking
of family-sized
dudes.
Cheez-Its that were empty, just laying in there somewhere. It was like,
God.
and then there was one box that I was pulling out that was a Cheez-Its box that I was like, oh, okay, at least there's one that's full. And I opened it and it was full of granola bars and fucking nuts. And I was like, even your fucking full Cheez-Its box doesn't even actually have fucking Cheez-Its in it. What's wrong with you?
What do we do?
I packed a 4.5, and I couldn't even begin to describe what I had put in this box. So I put northwest corner, lower cabinet, deep mist.
I
Deep mist. Dude, the things I saw together in drawers today, like, it stressed me the fuck out. I couldn't. They're moving because
they need a
someone
reset
just
or
needs to,
something.
like, get it out, and they're gonna have to just refigure it the fuck out.
Oh, man.
Like,
Yeah, I wish I
meat
would have gotten a
tenderizer
video
with
of that.
fucking manuals for
Yeah.
shit, with batteries, with fucking tongs, and he comes in halfway through. He's like, he's real Asian,
Yeah.
definitely not from the States,
Possibly
but
deaf.
he's embraced the culture fully. He was wearing an Alabama fucking shirt.
Oh no.
But the dude himself is ridiculous. But fuck, what did he say? Oh, did you pack the tongs already, man?
I'm
I'm
making
supposed to make brats
tonight.
later tonight. Like, I need some tongs.
Like, I forgot to mention
Yeah,
this at
bro.
the beginning. It's like,
Fucking-
no, dude, they're gone.
They're gone. They were 4 drawers deep into. I took drawers off
Yeah,
out of the sliders and was just pouring.
that's what I wanted to get a video of. Because he's like, this is just happening.
It's
Just
just
pulls
like,
it up and just
there's,
dumps
you
it
know,
in.
like, I tried it first. I put some kitchen utensils that shouldn't have been where they were onto the island, and then it got worse and worse,
Yeah.
and those drawers just started getting dumped into boxes.
Oh, my God. You're stressing me out
I
right
know.
now.
At least I know anything goes
We
tomorrow.
barely
Yes.
even
Show up.
fucking.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh,
We need to just stop doing packing.
Yeah,
I'm so
yes,
absolutely.
over packing. People have so much stuff that it's not even like reasonable to pack it.
Yeah.
Not
Like
in
going
the
back to
description of
fucking
the
Wednesday too, that chick that had she had like a giant tray of like fruit and dip or something that had probably been in that china cabinet for like 35 years.
Yeah, it was
Like-
like a saran wrap
It's-
bowl
yeah.
of dried fruit and shit. It's like, what? It has dust on the top. How long has this been here?
It won't even fit in a box, and what the fuck are you supposed to do with that anyway? Like, oh my god.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
But that's just a pre-pack.
The pack
the
before
real
the
pack,
pack.
Yeah.
and then there's 2 days of movement.
Which is probably going to be half a day of packing, too.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, Monday
Or 2
there will
days.
almost certainly be
Yeah,
some
I
stuff
saw a
left.
closet. I saw a closet, which was at least 3 wardrobes and like 2 to 3 4.5s, maybe a 1.5 or 2.
Oh, my God.
Fuck, man.
Is that Adam working on?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on out there.
Big
Yell
Al's
it.
probably fired up.
He needs to get in here and talk shit.
Before he ruins it, because we assault him every time he comes in, which to deserve it.
Now, I want to talk to him about getting fucked doing that job.
We will, but Nick was there, and I looked at Nick like, what is happening? He did a full walkthrough without checking the lists for any room at all.
God.
It was
Alex
like,
did?
Yeah.
But then when Ralph called him out on it, he was like, "Oh yeah, shit, you're right. Oh, I really messed up on that one, huh?" It's like, you're right. Yeah.
Know the list. Be the list.
Who was out there making noise?
Carson playing
Oh.
Skate 3 with the volume all the
No?
No, Harrison's out there too. But
Everybody's had a stressful time, I understand.
yeah. We had a great start to the day today too. The most worthless walkthrough that I've ever had on
maybe
any
ever,
job
dude.
whatsoever. Because it was the people. So we loaded them up yesterday in Breckenridge and drove it back, and then we got to the house. And like, okay, first weird situation. So I ring the doorbell.
Yeah.
And we can hear somebody behind it like doing stuff, but it doesn't open. And then this like, I don't know, maybe like 8-year-old kid runs out into the driveway and is like, "Hey, come in over here. The front door doesn't open." We're like, okay. So we follow this kid inside, and then the parents are all looking all fucking confused. And we're like, "Oh, you're here." And we're like, "Yeah." And then I was like, "All right.
You scheduled this,
Yeah.
right?
We have a truck filled
Yeah.
with this.
I called her beforehand, so she
15
knew we would be there. But yeah, and then we walk in, and I was like, "Cool. So you want to give us an idea where the bigger stuff's headed?" And she just turns around and is just like, I don't know."
I had to just interject.
So we just started naming
Yeah, like,
things.
so the couch would be going in here, right?
She's like, "Yeah, probably.
like,
I don't know
probably
where."
somewhere. And then the big white entertainment center. All right.
And then she's like, "Yeah,
Then,
there's
like,
bedrooms upstairs." It's
upstairs?
like, no shit.
Oh, yeah?
Shit. Yeah, we go up, and then the kid kind of like, "This is my room. That's where my bed goes." Oh, the castle bed, right?
It's a bunk
called
bed.
a bunk bed. Well, it looks like a castle, though, doesn't it? Yeah.
And then they were just like, "Yeah, just throw all the boxes in the garage, and we'll just figure it out as we go." And we were like, "All right, I guess we'll go get started."
Yeah, and it's like a
That was
3-level
literally
split,
all the
like,
information.
"Oh,
we
what
got.
about down here? How about your office?" Yeah, put one of the desks down there and just that level.
It's like there's 3 of them.
desks. And there's a lower level. It's like, oh my god. You guys are so brag.
No information.
It's just like,
Yeah.
Dude, he didn't say anything to me during the whole load up until the very end. He comes up, he's like, "You want to hear a terrible joke?
Yeah, oh,
You know
God.
the difference between jam and jelly?" And I was like, "I've heard
Yep.
the joke." He's like, "Oh, well, if you know," I don't know what he said next, dude. I don't know.
I've heard the joke.
We
I'm
couldn't-
aware.
I think he said he was trying to like make it into a mover thing. He was like, "Well, you can't jelly that or the rest of that stuff in that truck." It was like, "Oh my god, I'm done."
Yeah.
Is that, yeah, that's not cool.
That kid was like more well spoken than them combined.
Mm.
Goes to a private school.
But he
In
also,
Breck.
yeah, you guys missed the shining moment of his morning too, where he walked in front of me while I was carrying something and walked into the bathroom and just started pissing with the door open, and they were like yelling at him downstairs. I was like, "Cool, dude. All right."
Oh my god. Oh, that reminds me of a job last Sunday. Who was there? I think you were there, Nick, for that job that we were out kind of late. I don't know. We had to like go to Broomfield, Denver, something like that. I don't know. But there was this dog that kept standing on the top of the staircase,
Yes.
like in our fucking way.
The college chick or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once again, someone with too much shit. Yeah, I got 40 boxes, more like 140, you dumb bitch.
She had her boyfriend's shit. That was the problem.
That's it. They were all fucking useless. Oh my god, there's a lot to that, isn't there? There's a whole lot to that. It's all yeah, oh no. I was just thinking about how I had to walk by that dog so many times that I probably hit it in the head with a box accidentally like 6 times and it wouldn't fucking move.
Yes.
It's like, dude, you get hit in the head by a box every time you stand there. Oh man. I can't even go into that job right now. That was the whole thing. The fucking 4th floor in a goddamn fucking storage unit in Denver.
Let Nicholas do it. Nicholas, tell me.
I mean,
That's a 1,000-yard stare. First time I've seen it from you, Nick. He's a real mover now.
He's got the stare.
that was like, I mean, again, compared to what we've been doing, that seems so reasonable now.
That's a problem.
Yep. Your soul is 30 feet deep in that 45-foot storage unit.
Here come a truck.
I don't. Yeah. Ignoring that, the worst part, I guess, about that was definitely the unload, where we arrive at this storage unit. Where were you somewhere? Littleton or something like that?
We were like, it was right off 470, like way on the west
was
side. It
someplace
was
I
like right
haven't
where
been to.
470 starts on the west side, like the southwest side. So we were way out. I don't even remember. Yeah, the city technically. That we
Yeah,
were
but
in.
it was like it was way out there,
Yeah.
some like storage star or some shit. But like
Public storage. I remember.
public storage,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what it was. We show up and like it was funny because we drove through some pretty bad rain on the way there on the highway, and we ended up somehow behind like one of the 2 trucks that belonged to like our customer.
This is great. This is great.
They had, packed obviously this big fucking pickup truck full of as much shit as they could, that we weren't taking. And one of the things that they ended up taking, we had it on our list. It was a mattress that I guess was on our.
It was on the list.
It was
yeah.
on the list, but then
they
they ended up
taking
saying, "No, we're not going to take this. You guys don't have to take this. We're going to take this." And so we're like, okay. So it ended up getting loaded into their pickup truck, and it's loaded all the way to the right on one side, just up against like the wheel.
Straight up.
Essentially, yeah. Like, and it's just like it's got stuff chopped in, but nothing
like in the
that goes
bed.
up more than half the height of the actual mattress. And it's bagged and whatever, because they probably knew it was gonna rain or something, or a chance of it. And when it started like opening up, like wind and rain just pouring down, there was lightning everywhere and
So great.
up in the distance. They were right in front of us, like directly in front of us. We were watching them. We are like, oh, that shit, that's them. Because we could see the fucking mattress flapping.
Like a wacky women.
Those dudes ended up having to pull over.
Yeah, they straight up threw on the hazards and pulled
just
off.
pulled over, and we're like, well, that's probably the last we're going to see of them, isn't it? Because it did not look nice. Those clouds were like mean, dark, about to dump a lot more.
It was so great watching all those fucking boxes that weren't sealed properly.
They were all
and
cardboard
the fucking
boxes
just getting
exposed,
rained
just
on and
getting
blown
soaked.
around and shit.
Oh, it was
man.
That's what you
hilarious.
get.
Yes!
That was so great.
I love that.
It was such a good moment.
That was just on the way. So we get to like that storage unit or whatever. The chick who's actually the customer is there, thankfully. And she shows up and she's already there like, oh, there's a sign on the door saying they'll be back at whatever it was, 1:45 or something.
like that,
yeah, which was like, I don't know, it's pretty close, like 5-10 minutes away. Because she's like, the place is locked. I don't have a code. I can't get in. So we're like, fuck. So we got to stand around there, wait. A guy ends up coming back from wherever the fuck it was who works there, like, goes in, and this is where it gets pretty funny. So, like, she has this unit. We go up there to the 4th floor where it says it is. She gets the unit number or whatever. Opens up the unit. It's, what was it, a 10 by 10?
It was a 10 by 10.
10 by
And she has hundreds of boxes. And, like, just a bunch of fern and shit. It's like, you think he could do this? No.
We all kind of looked around, and then she looks back at Bennett because the guy who works there is standing there, and she's like, because she's telling the guy, well, like, I'm not gonna have them start, if they're not gonna be able to finish. And she looks at Bennett, and she's like, I'm just going with whatever you go, whatever you say. And Bennett's just like, Just keep,
I was like, maybe we could do a 10 by 15, maybe. And she eventually just goes, I got a 10 by 20, and we were all like, oh, thank you fucking God. This is going to be reasonable at least.
Yeah.
Because she was wanting stuff near the front of the unit, and I straight up
so
told her.
many totes full of clothes.
Yeah.
And shit. Yeah.
I was like, we can't do that. Like, it's all going to be just piled all the way to the ceiling, and you're not going to have access to anything. And I think that's why she got the 10 by 20, so that worked out pretty good. Oh, my God. Jesus
that was
Christ.
not fun. That was terrible.
There was at that storage unit, big old 6 stories or whatever, out front in the parking lot, kind of where we ended up parking, someone very clearly backed a large truck into the side of the building. There was it all looked real nice, and it all had the fake concrete plaster kind of looking shit. And then there's just this big ass fucking hole at the side of the storage unit.
It was perfectly aligned too, where if you stood, it's they were aligned in this parking spot. They just clearly just sent it way
They just
too
went
far
backwards. Yeah.
If somebody was driving a rental.
Yeah, they sure were.
It doesn't.
R means forward, right?
Hey, this is 26 feet? I thought we got the 12-footer.
Lean got us with that because we were razzing him, obviously. He's a new driver. You good with that thing, man? He's like, yeah, so, what does the P, the R, the N, and
my
the
God.
1 mean again? He
What?
was obviously just fucking with us, but it was really funny.
That's a good joke. All right.
Yeah.
As long as he was fucking with you,
Yeah,
that's
he
a good joke.
definitely was. But, I mean, then we saw him actually try and back out of that.
See,
parking
that's
lot.
why I'm not so sure that was
I think he's
P is
got
for
the
pull
gears.
forward,
I think
N
he
is
saw the
for
Billy Goat
not
guys
right
get out
now.
of there. He's like, oh, I can only do that.
I don't remember who I was with. There was a couple of the newer
They
guys.
could have only done that because he was parked in that fucking spot blocking the whole shit.
There was a couple of newer guys trying to back me up, and I had to shoo them away.
It's usually like
it's get out of here! I'm backing this
Okay.
fucking truck up. Don't tell me what to do. Get out of here! I know what I'm doing. I've done this a lot.
just please stop
So it's
me
like
before I
that
hit
one day
something.
that we were moving those people that were talking about Native Americans all weird when you just had to yell at all of us because we were all having a conversation in the back. It was so fucking funny.
I don't remember this. What was it?
Yeah, it was the Fuzzies owner guy. Or no, that was a totally different thing. Or no, yeah, that was who it was.
I don't even
Yeah.
remember. Yeah.
It was like a
This,
three-trucker.
I remember that guy.
was a
I don't
long time
remember the
ago.
circumstance, but yeah.
We were trying to back you in, and we were going to get you up on the front porch or whatever. And then George came by and distracted me on something, and I was trying to back you, and then you just leaned out the window and just just back me up or get out. I was like, all right. I got
That
this.
sounds right. Yeah.
He's like, well, there's stuff that's going in the garage. Do we stop him here? And I was like, no, we're just.
I 100% remember that. Just drop the fucking ramp.
Yeah.
They had
Those
a-
doors don't open. We still have to go through the house. That was what I was trying to explain to him. But
They had a
it's
silly circular drive after
yeah.
a straight entrance,
and parts of the house were unfinished, and they had cleaning people upstairs, and
Yes.
just there's
Yeah.
so much garbage on that
that was
job.
shenanigans.
We're pretty much at time, if not a little over. There's a little bonus content at the beginning from us just talking shit when I hit record, so that'll probably make it in. We could go for a little longer if anybody's got some
I
pressing.
mean, dude, I don't want to get into that 3-trucker that I have at all. We'll talk about it probably on another time.
We saw some
The
Instakarma
treadmill.
today.
What were you saying?
We did see some Instakarma today. That's pretty sweet. I'll let Trey tell that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Our last customer of the day.
So it's
We're
supposed
supposed
to
to have
just,
one thing.
It was a key bank, 10th floor. It's supposed to just be an executive desk. And for some reason, his office was the tiniest doorways in his office out of all the other offices that were up there. So it all had to come apart. And it wasn't just an executive desk, it was his whole office, pretty much.
Duh.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, I'll take these 2 chairs. Like, oh, thanks, dude.
That's what I said. I said, all right.
Now I got more stuff to talk about just because you said that.
He puts them in the back of his power wagon. For some reason, doesn't lay it down. Just stands them up in there. Takes off. We're following him. We turn off the house. and start going down LaPorte or whatever it was. We lose him, and then we're coming up. We stop at a stop sign. He keeps going. We lose him, and we keep driving, and then, oh, there's a chair in the middle of the road. And I was like, oh, I was about to say, dude, there's a chair in the road. And then I see his truck pull up, and he's like running to get in.
That's awesome.
And Dan goes, oh, instant karma.
No, that's so awesome.
And it just split the leg, of course. Yeah.
I love it.
First words out was an Alf. We met up. Hazards on. We pull over. Oh crap!
Oh man.
And then he's walking back with the chair, and you're like slowly behind him, just.
Making sure he doesn't
And I
get
think,
hit.
and I
He's
think
just
Sprout
walking
like did
with
this little
his
squeal thing, and he goes, and like, it's so funny.
That's great.
All right, I got a couple small things. Just talking about today. Number one, just background. Our customer had COVID, so her friend had to show us around and do all the shit. But her daughter was there, and her daughter definitely had COVID because she was just coughing up a storm everywhere. So I'm going to take a test in like 4 or 5 days. We'll see if I got COVID, and then all you guys have it too. Nick was there, so he's in it too.
Unfortunately.
But like you were saying, he's going to take those 2 chairs, and the lady showing us around's like, yeah, we just want you to take the heavy stuff. And we go in, and she's pointing all the stuff out, and then she points to like a stack of suitcases with pillows on them. And she's like, all that needs to go. And then she points to those pictures.
Yeah, the pictures in the basket.
She points to the pictures. She's like, those pictures need to go. And the daughter goes, those aren't very heavy.
Totally ignored
Like,
that
you're
stuff.
right. I'm taking your word on it. We're done with those.
But that was just, oh my God.
If I can piggyback on your 10th floor for a second, too, that's the same place that we moved all that shit for that office, and that was on the henceforth deleted episode that will never come back. But that was we
It might
took
come
that
back,
desk out of that basement, and the entire middle of it just completely fell apart. I stuck it back together with chewing gum. But, you know, they have no idea.
Was that the 10th floor?
It was. And that was the. Did you guys have to deal with that office manager lady that ran the elevator?
No, so I was there like 3 weeks ago,
Okay.
moving someone else out of the 10th floor. And yeah, I had to deal with them. There was no one there today.
Because this lady was trying to like use the independent mode, but not use the independent mode. So she would stand on the elevator and like turn the key to independent and then move it up so that it would wait. And we were just like, you could just set it to that. And then just get the fuck out of the way so we can actually fit things in here. She was like, okay, I mean, I guess if you guys want to do that, it's fine. It's like, there's 3 fucking elevators.
People
Oh my
still
God.
tried to get on our elevator.
Oh, they sure did. But,
So,
yeah.
Holy shit.
That storage unit we did, same thing. The guy locked the storage or the elevator for us to use. And so many people, I can't believe how many people have fucking storage units.
I
I
know.
hate you.
They're building a
You
new
clearly
one.
already
They're
have
building a
too
new
much
one
shit. Why do you
everywhere.
need to put it somewhere?
There's that goddamn
It's
commercial
stuff.
on the hip hop station where it's like, you have a box and your wife tells you to put it somewhere, but you don't have any more space? Get a storage unit.
It's called a trash can.
Fuck you. Fuck your stuff. Just throwing that out there, too.
Well, it's
Yeah.
because there's a void in your life, and it feels really good to some
God.
people like gambling, clicking the buy now button, getting it shipped, unwrapping it like it's Christmas in July. There's a whole thing. It's, endorphins.
I think
The same reason we like prostitutes and cocaine. It's the same shit.
I think my void is filled by
weed.
not having stuff. It's like the opposite of the void.
Prostitutes and
What's
cocaine are
transcendental?
not the same thing as
No.
storage units.
Definitely not.
It is if you're
Because they're
born-
gone in the morning. They don't still exist.
That's
You
a
get
level-
Amazon in 2 days, and you go, oh.
That's
Yeah.
like some special edition New Balances that like we don't have access to yet. We're not on that level yet.
No, we gotta wait for them to get released.
We gotta-
click that buy button.
Yeah, like you have to prove like you
Prostitutes and cocaine come and go.
Gotta,
Storage units just stay there, and you have to deal with it at some point.
They do. Yeah. Well, we have to.
Yeah, we-
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
You as in second.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Oh my god. All right. Yeah, we're just gonna fucking end it. I don't know.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Tip removers. I'm sick of this shit.
Oh, you fucking schmeg. God damn it.
Oh,
you did,
Stiff
yeah.
3
you
out of the last
explained that.
5 days.
Well,
What's up? Yes,
Throw away a bag of your shit today.
$6,000 job, no tip.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Sounds about right. How about you give Fredward coleslaw
Chime
some
Yeah, hard,
listens
don't
and-
forget.
Also, like that.
Donate to Fredward or whatever.
No, I don't have donations, but whatever.
Alright, that's one of the deals.
Listens are cool.
It's over. Fuck this
Goodbye.
shit. I'm done. The only reaction you could have is